And a PS, by the way, the beginning of the video is Greer, picture of Greer in 1946 with his tongue out, which he was quite happy to do. And on the other side, there's my Greer goose, given to me, a wonderful present, Christmas present given to me from my friend Joe Kersey from the Joe Kersey channel. I've always wanted to have one of these ducks that out in the Pacific Northwest, you do not see those kind of things on one's lawn, as you often may see them in Ohio. Anyway, I have a duck now. A duck that's, whenever it stops raining, will be put out for high holidays with various clothing options. Anyway, there's a clarification of that. Bye. Hello, YouTubers. Well, this is my first attempt at doing a video, so please be kind in your comments, should you leave any. Well, the story I'm going to talk about is a story of a dear, wonderful friend who's been dead for over 23 years now. His name was Greer Allen. He was, I don't know, just a few things about it. He was larger than life. He was an instigator, rabble-rouser, corruptor, and a mentor to me. The first real multidimensional gay person that I was lucky enough to be brought in his orbit. Him and his family and friends, he helped shape my and probably helped to warp my adolescent noggin. Anyway, name is Greer Allen. His usual greeting started with "darling" and followed with bits of gossip and outlandish stories, tailor-made to amuse or horrify others sitting on bar stools within earshot of him. As the drinking went on, burgundies or vodka tonics were down. The tales grew larger and longer. The story I'm about to tell you happened before I was born, but I heard little snippets about the affair over years and years cocktailing with Greer. Anyway, the story went like this. It was Good Friday, 2 days before Easter, 1963. Greer was a grad student at Ohio State in, I believe, comparative lit department. And to pay the bills, he had some job in a science lab, pay for beers and rent, food, etc. Anyway, he went in on Good Friday to work, and his somewhat stodgy, I guess, boss gave him and the rest of the lab techs an early holiday by closing the lab at 1 p.m. on Good Friday. Yay! Greer was quite happy with this. Greer started walking on High Street, Ohio State campus to go back to his apartment on Woodruff Avenue. Mind you, this is 1963. And the apartment he was going back to was this huge Victorian white elephant house that he shared with a number of people. But the thing was, this house was literally going to be tore down and destroyed to put up parking, what is now a parking lot on Woodruff Avenue, in mere weeks from this Good Friday. So anyway, Greer is as he's walking back to the apartment, walking up High Street, and there's a hardware store somewhere on High. And in the windows of this hardware store is this fabulous, new, wonderful product of 1963 modernity. It was canned spray paint. Apparently, that's when it started hitting the markets. Well, Greer thought this was a wonderful, wonderful product and went in and bought many cans, various colors of, canned spray paint. Shake up the ball bearings, and he thought it would be perhaps nice to spruce up the house, his apartment that was soon to be torn down, with some colorful spray paint. Things one could draw in living color. So anyway, with this great idea he had, you just can't keep something like that secret, especially since there is a bar that's now defunct called Larry's on North High Street. It was just, I guess, mere steps away. And Larry's was a fabulous, fabulous place that unfortunately not there. Something else is in its place, but it's not a bar. That's another video on the whole story of Larry's, but wonderful place with wooden booths all around, huge long bar. It had been, Ohio State institution for, I don't know, like the 20s or 30s on, I believe. The wooden booths would be, had all kinds of, just historical people gouging in with their penknives, witty commentary from, years past. Anyway, this bar was filled with this kind of just wild stuff etched into tables and bathroom walls. In fact, I think the bathroom, they would whitewash it like once a year or something for a new canvas for everyone to, put their new artwork in the bathroom, the men's room. And I mean, probably especially then, but even when I was going in the late 80s, early 90s, Larry's was known as, asshole undergrads, would call it the queer bar or the gay bar. Soon anyone who went in there were, mere fags. Well, I mean, a lot of them were went into Larry's, but, it was typically filled with a variety of grad students, dopers, fancy intellectuals, common drunks. Because you could get a very nice drink there. Anyway, back to the story of Greer. So Greer goes in with these cans of spray paint, and people were interested. Some drinks were had, and you know, the skid was greased, so to speak, for a party at Greer's house. More and more people started overhearing it in the bar, and Greer's comment was, "Darlings, just bring beer, cases of beer. Everyone has to bring a case of beer." So off they went home, and word started spreading about the party. Once Greer left, word got around. People started showing up. Mind you, this is early afternoon, and I guess some artsy-fartsy people got the spray paint and decided to paint one of the big walls with a Easter dove and put, Happy Easter, some lovely script and spray paint, and a psychedelic dove on the wall. And, Happy Easter. Someone else decided, well, we're going to put motherfucker on the bottom of it, so Happy Easter, motherfucker. More and more people started, coming to this party, and well, I guess at some point the as Greer called them, the motorcycle people showed up, and this Victorian is typical. There's multi rooms. There's the front parlor, a living room, a fireplace, and such as that. Front porch, back porch. Well, the motorcycle people decided it was great fun to ride motorcycles in through the house and out through the house. And more motorcycle people came, and I guess they decided they would have a competition of motorcycle driving through the house. So they were spinning around the big fireplace, around and around, and I guess whoever won the heat of motorcycle race, were allowed to break beer bottles on the fireplace mantle. So party was, getting a little wild there. People were having fun. Place is going to be torn down in a month or so. Everyone's having fun. Well, Greer and I guess other participants were upstairs in the bathroom doing their own thing, which included underwater cocksucking contests. Whoever could stay down submerged, their heads submerged the longest, won some kind of prize. So fun was being had. And I guess one of Greer's arch nemesis, showed up, and I guess in the kitchen decided to get big phone books, thick phone books stacked on top of the stove, and tried to set them on fire to fuck up Greer's party. I guess that didn't happen. But what did happen was they started spray painting the windows opaque, perhaps black, I don't know, perhaps red, perhaps purple, who knows. And at some point, the phone was ringing, and someone decided, they didn't like the phone ringing, so in an upper window, they threw out this 1950s big Bakelite big rotary phone out through the window. I guess the cord, it was hanging from the window. Cord was hanging down. The receiver was twisting in the wind, and noise going on. I guess the neighbors were these neighbors were these Asian grad students that, hadn't lived in the country very long, and guess were becoming increasingly alarmed of odd things that were going on at Greer's house, and called the cops. Well, once the cops showed up, the motorcycle people were jumping on the backs of the motorcycles and skidding out through the house, doing wheelies off the back porch and front porch to get away from the cops. And I guess though the motorcycle people got away, well, the cops came in, and Greer was upstairs with his underwater cocksucking contest. He thought it was awfully quiet all of a sudden, so he heads down the big Victorian stairs butt naked with, I guess, wearing a little cowboy or Indian headdress with a, few things of feathers of some bird. And plus, Greer was part American Indian, besides many other things. But anyway, I guess he felt he had the right to wear one of these headdresses. And he's coming down the stairs whooping, whoa, 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 whoa. Down the stairs, butt naked, dripping water, down the stairs right into the arms of OSU and Columbus Police Department, which I guess nabbed 4 or 5 of them and took them down to the pokey. Greer's sister happened to be watching the nightly news in Springfield, which is like 50 miles away to the west, and apparently the news recorders were going and showed it on the Columbus News that there's a wild party going on, and Sister Pat is looking at it thinking, oh God, it's Greer, Dinky. Pat's watching the news with her mother. So anyway, good Pat, who just passed away about a year ago, bless her soul, wonderful person, came and bailed out Greer and probably other ones. So anyway, that's the story I heard. Now, mind you, this was a story I heard bits and pieces of over the years, and I was, I guess, how do we say, eager to have Greer caught in one of his long tales of amusement, one of his stories. So, I got some details. What year was this? And got an approximate, year, early 60s. Well, I had, I guess, a little too much time on my hands that quarter that I went through the microfilm at Ohio State, through the Columbus Dispatch, figured out when Good Friday was in a few years. Anyway, I was able to find the story in Columbus Dispatch. So even though I was going to try to get him caught in one of his tales, it was actually true. I may try to post the article on this thing. I don't know if you can do a PDF attached with a video, but I will see. Anyway, and they all forfeited bonds of $20 each. At the party ended at 10 p.m. Anyway, that's one of my stories of Greer. Hopefully I will tell more. Hope you liked it. Hope you found it fun. Talk to you soon. Bye.